Here at Langston University with Blue Jay head football coach Kelly Beeby as the annual scrimmage with Douglass and Bishop Kelley has concluded. And Coach, Langston always a gracious host for 3 good programs.
Absolutely. It's always a fun environment out here. You know, we went a long time tonight just trying to get that additional work in. Coach DePana wanted that additional work from Tulsa Kelley, and then, you know, of course, we've got Enid next week. So we wanted to get some extra work in. And, you know, Douglass brings a lot of raw athleticism. You know, Tulsa Kelley's 5, 6, or 7, depending on where you look. Got a real veteran offense, good quarterback, big tight end, and they got a receiver that can go. So it was really, really good for us tonight defensively. You know, you turn that around. I thought offensively we were very physical in the run game. We were able to, you know, get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. Got to learn to finish drives. You know, which I think we scored down here, but I wanted to see our guys from the one because Coach Mick was already backing them up. I was like, let's go down there, and then we give up a gap to the 300-pound nose guard, and we're back 7. But that's good for us. You know, we give up the deep ball, switch of communication, and then we jump inside on a 2-yard route, and it goes to the house. So those are little things that are very teachable moments as far as those things go.
Well, Coach, you know, of course, the big thing every time you have a scrimmage, you want to get out of here healthy. And I think we were successful in that area tonight.
Dylan Dollar had a little ice on his shoulder, and then J.D. Coonfield, who was having a whale of a night at safety. You know, we were out the services of Isaac Lewis tonight, who's probably our top receiver as far as in our quick pass game, and also a 3-year starter in the defensive secondary. So that affected us somewhat, but it was a great opportunity. You'll notice we played a ton of kids.
A lot of kids.
You know, we played 25 kids with our varsity, and we played 40 kids with our junior varsity, and we still got some competition for a defensive end spot, a cornerback spot, and who's going to rotate at that safety spot. And I saw the kids kind of step up and compete. You know, we're a young ball club. That's what I told them out there. We had, you know, without Isaac most of the night, we had 2 seniors on the field defensively, and, you know, and 2 or 3 on the field offensively. So these guys got to grow up. You know, 9 of them played last year. So it was great for us to go against a veteran ball club like JJ's got over there from Bishop Kelley. And then, you know, Coach Williams taking over at Douglass. I thought his boys played hard, represented themselves well, and they got going there at the end.
Different energy.
And got after Bishop Kelley a little bit, which JJ thinks his offense is better than his defense this year. So that just kind of take it all into perspective of what we saw.
You mentioned their offense, Bishop Kelley. They have a slinger who threw for 1,600 yards, and we see why he did that here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, I told our guys our pass rush got to get better. But I think when we watch the film, we're probably going to see a 1.75 to 2.2 release point.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then 9 out there could catch it and do something with it. So it was great for us to see tonight. You know, as we continue to develop and we've got some things that we can do to help ourselves. Obviously, we were very base tonight. I think you saw a lot of stunts and movements from the other defenses and you know, some whiskey formations and motion formations. We want to see if we can line up, block people, and get 4 or 5 yards. Our pass protection on short roll has got to improve. Of course, a Tulsa Kelley team brings a tremendous amount of pressure on it, play in, play out, and we busted them a few times with the swings and those kind of things. So they're going to make you look bad 2 or 3 times, and you're going to bust them. You know, that's a high risk, high reward defense. So we knew that coming in. And main thing is hopefully JD's ankle's going to be all right, and we get Isaac back here soon. Don't know when for sure, but soon.
You mentioned the additional work here in the scrimmage. It is week 0, so this is the only scrimmage like you saw last year. What did you learn from last year, and what do you kind of implement this year on a short week? Because there's only one scrimmage, and there's so much to get in.
We're going to bring them in tomorrow and get this film over with, and get them moving. To just try to get some of that soreness out of them. And I know some of them have work and this and that, but we're going to get the lion's share of them there. And that just accelerates our learning for Enid, you know, which we, based on what we saw from Enid a year ago, you know, we've looked at it like everybody does, but until you see who their offensive linemen are, you know, they got a different quarterback. But one thing we know for sure is they got a tailback.
Yes.
they got a tailback.
Will Phillips.
I was pleased that we looked pretty darn good against the run tonight, and both those teams ran the ball against each other pretty well tonight. You know, So that was
number 30 for Kelly. He's a physical. He's a physical back. He's really a good look for what we're going into next week against.
They've got that real discipline, attack mentality. And then you get just the raw athleticism from a Douglass. So this has always been a great scrimmage for us. Yeah. And our kids are a little disappointed. They gave up a couple of deep balls, and they gave up a 1 yard route that became a deep ball, and they gave up a deep ball. But it's guys. That's why we come over to these scrimmages.
Get better.
That's why we come over to these scrimmages, and maybe we make that play against our scout team at 90%.
Right.
But you don't make it against another varsity at 90%.
Probably number 4 or 5 ranked team in 5A, probably with McGinn.
I think they're 5, depending on where you look.
Yeah.
And I think they've got us at 9 or 10. One of the kids said, and we got everybody chasing Carl Albert McGinnis.
Yep.
So we're in the thick of it. I think Enid's ranked 9 in 6A2. So we're going to see 4 top 5 teams in the first. And then Shawnee, they may not be ranked, but Shawnee will have athleticism to match anybody.
They got 6A numbers. They got 6A numbers, and so you're basically going up against 3 6A teams in the non-district.
Our conditioning, I was pleased with our conditioning because we took a lot of snaps tonight. We had a lot of kids take a lot of snaps, and I was anxious to see how that was going to play out. And I think it played out really well. And the mistakes we made in the back end were very minor, fitting under a block instead of over the top of it, saying in and in when we should have said out, 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 and those are correctable. And you never learn anything from an easy win. Something tough or something adverse happens, it's really easy to teach those kids, get their attention, because they don't like getting beat deep in front of their mama. So you just love them up, you correct them, you get the next guy in while you're talking to them, and then when it's time to go back in, they go back in. My always theory is just sack the quarterback.
Don't worry about it.
You're a simple man.
Sack the quarterback, and you don't have to worry about it. But I was pleased with it. I was pleased with the attitude. I was pleased with the effort. Relatively healthy. It's a first scrimmage. It is what it is. Real athletic ball club and a real talented ball club with Kelly. I think I'll win a lot of games over there on that side of the state. I sure do.
10 or 11 over there, I bet.
Yeah.
Coach, it is officially game week, and I know you got some hot dogs waiting on you, but we always appreciate a little bit of your time. And
absolutely,
Shawnee or Enid's here game practice week. Yeah.
Yep. The 25th. It comes quick on the zero. I've had multiple coaches say, "Well, how'd you like zero?" I said, "Well, we won it last year, so I love it.
Right now, I love
it. So we're ready. I mean, the game with Enid with Coach Hayes over there it's been a mutually beneficial game. We got sub varsity 7th, 8th, 9th JV, which he has trouble getting, and it's a good gate game. Coach Mix from up there. I coached up there for 10 years, so we got some recognition and commonality. And it traveled pretty good. And Coach Hayes, just like we are, he wants a good opponent that's well coached to get better, moving into district play. So it's always tough for a 5A to jump up and play 6As, but that's who's willing to play us, and that's fine. And we've just got to take that challenge for what it is and drive and improve and just go play football.
Coach, we'll see you next week.
All right, boys. Appreciate you.
Head coach Kelly Beeby joined us here as the Blue Jays conclude the scrimmage here at Langston University. And again, Bishop Kelley, and if you're here in the audience tonight and watch Bishop Kelley, they got their center is a Division I. He's already got Division I scholarships, and the quarterback is impressive.
Well, number 34, and I don't know the young man's name on defense, but I was talking to some of their coaches. He's also another D1, getting a lot of looks, and you can see it on the field. He flies all over the field, big kid, rangy kid, and a physical kid. But they're a darn fine ball club. I mean, they'll win a lot of ball games, like Coach Beebe said. I bet they win 10, 11, 12 games this year.
It'll be interesting to see the Blue Jays. I think the first 5 weeks are so big. Of course, there's a bye week before week 4 with Carl Albert, but you got 3 schools, basically 6A. Shawnee's got 6A numbers, Ponca City, Enid, and then you got off the bat the 2 favorites in the district and one of the favorites in the state, and Carl Albert, and then McGinnis. And so the first 5 weeks are tough.
Tough. As tough of a schedule as we've seen here in a long, long time. And so, injuries are obviously critical
already
in a time like that. And of course, we know, as Coach alluded to, with Isaac, we need to get him back. Isaac's probably our most athletic kid, I'd say, on the club, and a 3-year starter on defense, as Coach said. But you just can't. This club, they're young, learning a lot of kids playing new positions. We can't afford to have injuries.
No.
And so, it's exciting times. 0 week makes it feel weird. I mean, it's just well, last year 0 week felt like a scrimmage week. And so hopefully we can go up to go up to Enid this year and get a W and stay healthy.
It's tough with this week 0 because they just went on pads last week, and how they got one scrimmage, and so. We will once again Hot 93.7 FM KSBI all season long. Even Lawton, Guyman, Woodward, McGinnis. We're going to all those. So we're going to gas up for that. But our kickoff 7 o'clock. Of course, our pregame show always at 6:30, and of course got the high school huddle this year once again.
High school huddle and Wednesday nights.
Yep.
And of course, Chris and Casey, you guys bring all the talent, and I'm there for to laugh at
the cake,
which is great. Yeah. And dessert.
6 to 7, Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI. And we did this last year, but hopefully you're probably watching this late. Yeah. It's late already, Parker Burnett, Guthrie News Leader, we like to hang out with him, but got the News Leader preview, and I've seen a couple of photos and that, and it looks like a good preview, so be sure to check that out as football season is here, so we're going to get ready for Enid this week, and we'll get all that covered up, and we'll talk to you on Friday, right?
You want a hot dog?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good.
All right. For Phil Nichols, Chris Evans, we'll see you for Guthrie Enid Friday night. Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI, 6:30 pregame.